And we are live and back. Hello, everyone, once again for another Tuesday night of HOBO Cup Series action. This time it is from Michigan. Sticking to kind of the theme for the week here. We did Michigan on Sunday for Fast. We've got Michigan going on this time around for HOBO. Game track, open setup, realistic damage. You name it, it is going to be challenging these drivers. And I think that is just going to make the racing all that much more, I don't know whether to say hectic or fun, but I think that it is going to be very tight net, very close, very exciting. This track tends to cook more often than not when it comes to any kind of online or offline race for that matter. So I think we're going to be in for an incredible show here for 80 laps of action. And joining me in the booth, he joined me on Sunday for the fast race. He's back with me again, Mr. Caleb Rose from AG the channel. Once again, dude, thank you for being on board. I'm really, really looking forward to this one.
Me as well. This dude will not stop pestering me. Let me tell you.
And I will not.
Just kidding. But yeah, really excited for this one. The race on Sunday was awesome and pretty much just solidified the point. Whether online, offline, doesn't matter. This track is really awesome and produces some very awesome racing. And I'm sure tonight will definitely be no different. Got 80 laps ahead of us, and I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, after the race on Sunday, gonna have a good time here with this one, and it'll be interesting to see who will end up in victory lane after this one. It's been a fun season so far up to this point, so definitely can't wait to see how it all play out.
And we're gonna see another awesome one, as you're saying. Caleb, of course, jumping on board for this one, even though we have not really dove too deep into HOBO racing with him yet, so this will be his first exposure to that. I think Caleb, we're gonna have a good time here with this, as qualifying just concluded, and I believe this is the very first time every single driver has taken a lap time. That is incredible. Oh wait, no, I am looking at practice. I am dumb. There we go. Yep, I was looking at the wrong thing. All right, that is what we wanted to see there. So, we will take a quick look here at the starting lineup. Caleb Lingle on pole in the 113. An
Hey, shout
impressive
out to
lap
fellow
there.
Caleb's out there.
Yeah, Caleb represent. I know you're rooting for the 95 and the 59 for reasons.
Definitely.
For Caleb, that is pole number 6. The polls this season have just been stacked for Caleb, Herman Reese, and Keith McLean. We're going to always shout out Ken Hansen for that one lone poll that he has. On top of that, we've had 4 pole sitters and 9 different winners. So if you think that qualifying is super duper critical in this league, not so much. So Caleb with the pole. Kilojoules, Julian Wilson will be starting in second, just 1/1000th quicker of his good friend and our good friend Keith McLean McDaddy in third place, and then Herman Reese in fourth. Second through fourth, separated by 0.003 of a second in qualifying. That is incredible. Jeff Sakanis will start fifth. Last week's winner, Wiley King, in sixth, followed by Steve Grant, Fugate, Ricky Bumbaloo, and Eddie Rayleigh in the top 10. Harry Kodian, Ryan Johnson, DJ, Duke Sorensen, EJ, Rick Castle, Steve Rubino's, or excuse me, Dan Rubino, then Steve. Top 20 is rounded out then by Randy Smith and Troy. Is it Trey or Troy? Oh my gosh, I literally just Troy. Okay, Troy Donahue. Charlie Trusty, the last driver to take a lap time in 21st. Then you got Ron Simpson, Mark DeSenza, hoping to see him up at the front at some point. Ken Hansen, Rob Heath, Greg Stenzo, Bob Gibson, and I think that's it. I'm just double checking because Another driver there at the bottom of the field, but I don't think he's actually going to be racing. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. So, you got 27 drivers, it looks like, here for this one. Similar pit window to what we had on Sunday, about 25 laps-ish, give or take. And watch out for turn 2. That will be the trouble spot. That is where the back end will just want to kick out on you and send you around. If you keep it below the white line there, though, questionable if the caution will even fly. So that, and Caleb, I know you and I talked about, we both had experience with how turn 2 can really come up and bite you with these open setups. And I'm sure tonight's going to be no different, but with a field of 27 drivers, tight net, almost bordering on like modern day Atlanta levels of racing, that is going to be very, very sketchy if anything were to happen on that corner.
Yeah, definitely. Like you kind of mentioned, turn 2, definitely pretty easy to kind of lose the back end of the car, and also running wide is probably something we could definitely see there as well. And we'll just have to wait and see what we might see out of that corner, but I would definitely keep an eye on it as this race goes along, especially in instances where we get this field bunched up, like on the start and on restarts. But we'll just have to wait and see just how chaotic this race will be. We'll just have to see, but it'll be interesting to see how everything will unfold.
A lot is going to unfold here in 80 laps. I do believe pit road speed is 55, I believe, although this is a game track, so maybe 45. We'll find out for sure once these guys get going. Coming into this race, just a quick little update here. Herman Reese still continuing to rather dominantly lead the point standings, but Steve Grant has not gotten too far away from him. Steve Grant has just been king consistency with only one win, that coming at Darlington. He is second in points. Ryan Johnson, though, has been really, really on a hot streak here and currently third in points. The driver with the most top 10s on the season so far. We'll mention that real quick. He's the only driver with 13 top 10s. Everybody has 12 or less. Keith McLean, Jeff Stakanis are your top 5 in points. And just a little fun fact about Jeff Stakanis. Every single one of his 9 top 10s have been top 5s. So just a fun little tidbit for you there. The top 10 in points round up by Fugate, Why the King, Duke Sorensen, Eddie Rayleigh, and Randy Smith. That is the current top 10 in the point standings. Caleb Lingle, 14th in points, definitely still trying to kind of move his way forward, albeit he has also missed a couple races, so I know that kind of plays a factor into that. Oh boy, 80 laps here at the Motor City. And we are just about to kick it to the race session. Caleb, once again, man, I was just hyping you up a bunch, but it's true, though, because I mean it. Being in the booth with you, we just have so much fun with it. You just have so much fun with what you do over on AG's stuff. And I'm just looking forward to being able to call this thing with you. And thank you once again for being on board.
Well, yeah, again, thank you so much for having me. And yeah, honestly, just IRL, in-game, online, offline, I just like watching cars go vroom. So regardless of really what it is, I really enjoy this kind of stuff. And yeah, doing it for the first time on Sunday, doing an online race was truly a different kind of experience. And I had a whole lot of fun and definitely can't wait to see what this race will have in store.
Yeah, we went caution-free at Michigan on Sunday at Fast. We'll see how that'll play out tonight. But again, that was a very tight setup. We were asking the guys how tight that setup was. They were definitely in agreement with the open setup nature and, of course, just the nature of the game track. I don't think that will so much be the case here. So I expect that there will be some interesting moments, perhaps some hair-raising moments. But that's been a lot of these races at HOBO. These guys put on an incredible show wherever they go, and no matter what's going on the racetrack. We've had a lot of fun getting to bring it to you guys. Of course, missed a few races earlier on in the season, but I think we've only missed like 3. I'm wanting to say the first race was done on JTN, so hey, you got a bit of a back catalog if you want to check it out and see how the season has unfolded. It's a long season. We're going all the way to November, but we are getting pretty deep into the season here as field heads down the back straightaway. Will there be some early calamity with this double file restart? Oh man, open setup, cup physics, Michigan. Caleb, I think that this is going to be a bit sketchy, but I'm in for a good show here, and I know so are you.
Definitely, like you said, Cup physics, open setup, especially here at a track like Michigan, all the chips are down and in the middle. This is going to be a spectacular show.
Pace car pulls it down. And here we go from the Motor City, Caleb Lingle. KJ Kilojoules leading him to the green. And away we go here. Oh, that's a wheel spin there for McDaddy, but we are officially underway.
Lookity.
You know, I want to get it into 4th gear as quick as you can, and you see why. Everyone's already getting loose. 31 on the apron.
Oh, boy.
Rayleigh into the wall. Oh, man, this is one of these sketchier racetracks that we will go to on the schedule. 3 wide at the back of the field, but they're going to sort that out in a hurry. Everyone's somehow keeping it in a straight line for the time being. There's a dive there from the 112 on Steve Grant. 85 into the wall. Caleb going to lead the first lap. To represent the Caleb boys. But,
let's go.
Whew, man, yeah, everyone already getting spread out, and I think that is more out of precaution than anything.
Already a couple of close calls there on the opening lap of the race, but and more down the backstretch. We got one around. That's the 27 of Rob Heath. The 43, Charlie Trusty, hard into the inside wall, and that's already critical damage for the 43.
Oh my goodness, that front end is absolutely caved in. Some flat tires, I do believe, on the 27, but he'll be able to keep it going.
Oh, we got more. The 81, the 46 in turns 3 and 4.
And big.
Oh, and even more.
I was going to say, big smash.
77.
Big smash.
Probably an even bigger crash.
And we're going to have a look at that. That is sketchy there. 46 is on pit road. 59. Oh, I'm sorry, Caleb. It's in a world of hurt there. Boy, that's not what you want to see this early. See that many cars that are almost certainly going to be out of it. That early in the going. But that is just the nature of a sketchy racetrack. Steve Rubino is also out. We'll take a look at what caused the initial caution first, which will be the 27 and the 43, and then we'll see what was up with the secondary there in 3 and 4. And, yep, I called it. Turn 2, the trouble spot.
You called it.
And, yep, that was just Rob Heath getting loose. Credit to him for turning down and not getting into Bob Gibson. We'll get one more look to actually see the hit that the 43 takes. Because, man, it must have been nasty with how much front-end damage he had. Oh, man, 51 actually had a nice save. Oof. That is Jeff Gordon, Las Vegas impact right there for the 43. And, oh, my goodness. We caught a glimpse there in Bob Gibson and Troy Donahue getting into it there. They were checking up for whatever was happening in front of them. Yeah, multiple different incidents here. But it looks like it's going to be the 77, I believe, that goes around. This is the secondary, and yep, into turn 3. Gets into the 07 and the 59. Ken Hansen spins. Ooh, like tap of the wall there for the 95. I think he'll be okay. 94, rather. But day's going to be done for the 07, the 77 most likely. 81's looking in rough shape. Of course, the 43 is going to be out. Ugh, that is the nature of in-game Michigan. Just squirrely, squirrely, squirrely. And caught out a few guys there, and unfortunately some others that are going to end up innocent bystanders.
Yeah, definitely tough breaks for everybody involved in all that calamity there. And like you said, just kind of the nature here, especially base Michigan. Really swirly, and especially earlier on in the race while all the tires are still relatively cold, it can definitely open the door for a bit of calamity, and looks like we saw just that.
Yeah, cold tires is everyone's worst nightmare. Just taking a look at the... Whoops, that's the wrong button. There we go. Yeah, we've already got 3 drivers out. The 051 has stayed on pit road here for a little while and has fallen 2 laps down. 81's still staying out there on the lead lap, although, actually, if we add to that retirement list, 59 and 77 also just called it, so 5 drivers in the first 2 laps are going to end up out of it. Yeah, I hate to see that, but, I mean, Caleb, as you and I were saying, we've had experience with how swirly this track gets, how easy it is to get that back end kicked out, even when you're not prepared for it, especially on turn 2. You just feel like you're turning the wheel naturally, and if it gets even just that little bit of push toward the wall and you have the wheel turned, it's going to send you around. You have to have that wheel so perfectly straight when you're coming off of 2, or else see you later.
And definitely just maybe just a bit too much turn in, and that car just gonna want to snap loose on you, and you saw kind of the results of it right there. And gotta definitely give props to everybody there in that opening lap and a half. It had a bunch of close calls. The guys almost losing it and managing to keep it straight. Like we kind of saw it of the 51 there down the back straightaway. Almost lost it and managed to hang on to it. And unfortunately, the 27 there, Rob Heath, got caught in a bit of a trolley problem there. He could either go to the outside or go to the inside. Unfortunately, kind of either way, he was probably going to end up taking out somebody. So,
Yeah.
Just a really tough situation there and really tough break there.
Yep, just made sure to avoid the 46, and the 43 just ended up there, and yeah, again, just took a lace just hit to the inside wall. And then, yeah, several others once the 77 went around, and going to cut a number of races short. Still got a lot of competitive cars out here, though. I know the Rubino clan is watching, and you still got a horse in this race. You got Dan out here, and he's 12th already in that 44. And we're going to have ourselves a single file restart here, and I think that that will at least help to kind of keep things maybe relatively calmer, I should, is the emphasis there. But I think that will hopefully help kind of get these guys spread out, kind of help them find their footing. Again, 1 and 2 on the initial restart is going to be the sketchy part. I think once we get a few laps on these tires, maybe like 5 or 6, then these guys will be able to be a little more flat out. But we'll be going green lap 7 of 80 here. Field will come off of turn number 4. Pace car will pull down, as it looks like they are letting the 051 get one of his laps back at least. Rob Heath still out there on the racetrack. Troy Donahue is going to try to keep it going, even though he's going to be well and truly wounded. But coming back up to the front here from the pole, Caleb Lingo gets him back underway. I think these guys also learned a thing or two from Keith McLean, who spun his tires on that initial restart and has dropped somewhere. We're going to try to find him here, but first let's make sure these guys get through 1 and 2 without any issues. And Keith dropped way back. He must have pitted, made some adjustments, whereas everyone else stayed out. He's back in 13th, but I'm sure he'll be working his way forward here. 33, another guy that we know has some good speed. But everyone relatively spread out, except for a battle for 5th here. That is Riley King, Fugate, Ryan Johnson all going at it here.
Already starting to heat up once again as Fugate looks to take that 5th position away, and Ryan Johnson into 78 looking to try and follow through. Looks like he will do so. And Riley King there on the outside falls back to, I believe, what will be the 7th position out of the 11 of Steve Grant. Is now Johnson taking a peek underneath Fugate there in the 9. Looking to try and move his way up to 5th as well. 78 looking pretty sporty, and yeah, something kind of touched on there. Of course, with that caution, we did have a couple of cars maybe come down pit lane, maybe, take tires, top it off on fuel, maybe make some adjustments. So it'll be interesting to watch a lot of those guys that came down pit lane here under that caution flag. And let me tell you what, back here, it's kind of looking like a hornet's nest as we got a lot of double file going on. A lot of battling here going on, just right outside the top 10 here.
Oh, goodness, you are not kidding. Oh, yeah, this might be where the trouble's going to start here. We saw Ryan Johnson take 5th place there from Fugate. I'm going to keep my eye up here for now. This is
nice.
Yeah, this is like 13th, 12th on back. And oh my goodness, they are trying to sort it out as Eddie Rayleigh just gets ahead of Rick Castle there in the 124. There's Ron Simpson. Often a good, consistent top 10 finisher there is that 25. He's hoping to keep that streak going.
78 is flying right now.
Guys. Good bundles back here. Then there's Rob Heath and a few other guys. And, yeah, Troy Donahue is quite a bit off the pace. Quite a bit off the pace. He's like 4 seconds off of these guys' lap time. But oh my goodness, you are not kidding. Just check back up front here, and Ryan Johnson goes from 6th to 5th and now up to 3rd, and almost looked like he was going to take a peek there for 2nd place on the 73.
Looks like he definitely tried to. Unfortunately, 73 kind of had to drive through the center of the corner there. Honestly, kind of got a good run there on Caleb down the back straightaway, but we're going to stay in line. You're going through 3 and 4. Johnson might have a bit of a run here coming off of turn number 4. Going to stay in line, kind of get the draft here down the front straightaway. Maybe go for something here into turn number 1. He peeks down to the inside. Going into 1, then we're side by side now for 2nd is Ryan Johnson in the 78. Now looking to make his way up into 2nd place. And he made that look easy, honestly.
Yeah, I think Herman saw him making that move and going, hey, it's this early in the going. You can have it, my friend. And yeah, he is looking very sporty. Pretty aggressive, too. Again, I was talking to you, Caleb, earlier, and I was thinking to myself, I don't think that this track is really all that heavy on the tires, from what I remember. There's going to be some tire wear for sure, and you're not going to want to just overdrive the heck out of it. But at the same time, I do think that you could be a little more aggressive here than at other tracks, especially at tracks such as Nashville, where we were at last week, a track like Darlington. You really want to save your stuff with those. Here you can let it hang out a little bit more, and I think Ryan might be taking advantage of that. Will this hurt him in the long run? Nope, if we get a long run going here, we'll find out. But he's trying for this race lead. He is cutting the dog leg. He's going to get to the inside here of the 113.
He's going to have his chance here going into 1. Got to the quarter panel down the front straightaway.
Oh!
113 going to cross him over.
Wow!
Coming off of turn number 2. How about that? Don't usually see a crossover in Michigan every day.
Cool.
As Lingo goes back down to the inside, looking to take the lead back away. Herman Rice there in the 73, also waiting in the wings behind these two. But they're...
he's going to do it too!
Johnson dives down to the bottom, looking to cross over the crossover.
Oh, some awesome stuff. We're only on lap 15. You still got 66 to go here. As Ryan's going to pull off that move.
Don't tell me he's going to do it again.
Oh, he's going to do it again.
Oh, he's going to do it again.
That first time around, you couldn't have put a piece of paper between their bumpers. That was incredible. And now, yep, he's got it again. And he's going to get clear. Is Ryan going to try to cross him over again? Doesn't look like he's going to get the chance. Herman is watching these guys. Oh, my gosh, he's going to try it.
Oh,
Herman's just looking at this going, you guys are
I think
too
he's
much.
got it. I think he's got it. Gonna do it again.
The never-ending swapping of the lead between these two. Let's see if Caleb tries for it again. I don't think he's quite going to be able to pull it off as well this time. Let's see if he tries to make
Might
the
have
move.
a run down the back straightaway at least.
I think he's going to settle in this time. Ryan Johnson takes the lead officially. That was awesome.
What a battle.
That was so cool. But look at how stacked up that just got everybody else. Everyone managed to close back in there. Wiley King's trying to take 5th place away from Fugate. And Harry Kodian battling there with KJ. KJ's going to get 8th. And pretty much everyone in the top 8 here, kind of within distance. And you go back a little ways to Dan Rubino, who's got himself into the top 10. Nice. Very nice there, although Mark DeSenza is going to try to change that. And it looks like we'll do so. Eddie Rayleigh's going to try to follow suit. There's Keith. Also trying to move his way forward. And then, yeah, a little ways back to 20th place, Randy Smith. There's Stenzo. I do believe that Troy Donahue has called it a night with that damage. And indeed he did. That is already 6 drivers out. But after that first lap, that was quite a calamity of issues. And we got a little bit of a run going now. Ooh, Johnson up the track.
Bit of a slide.
That was definitely a slide there. KJ got passed by the King, and now the 2 Speedland teammates find each other in 7th and 8th. Yeah, Ryan's being a little more aggressive, it looks like, on corner entry. Caleb's trying to kind of diamond it a little bit more. That's what's maybe allowing him to do those crossover moves, but...
Big run down the back here.
Oh, yeah, he's going to go for it.
Keep the back burners out. We're going at it again.
Let's see. Do we go crossover fest once again? Nope, not this time. Yeah, he got it there. Back to the point. Caleb Lingle back to the point there in the 113. Herman go try to take P2.
Got a lot of swapping going on for position now here inside the top 10 as Rice now tries to get to the inside of the 78 of Ryan Johnson. You've also got Hiljules there in the 029 there. Just got past the 9 of Fugate there for the 5th position. Now also trying to look here on the 31. The 31's going to leave the bottom open, and Blaine Donlon going to get down to the inside here coming off of turn number 4. They're going to be side by side, and they're going at it for second once again, and I'm sure Caleb's probably liking this as he's starting to pull away just ever so slightly while these guys battle.
Little gap there, yeah. He's liking what he's seeing in his mirrors with 60 laps to go here. And going to pull away a little bit, but Herman going to complete that pass for second place. I will just correct you here and say that it's actually pronounced Reese, but that's okay.
My apologies.
Yep, all good. Jeff Stakanis back to 5th at the moment. And we know how aggressive, at least here on the channel, we know how aggressive that 029 is. He runs the most aggressive of setups. He's going to try for 3rd place here. And that is a driver who has yet to find victory lane this season, and well and truly would deserve a win at some point in time to make it a double-digit number of winners this season. It has been an incredibly competitive season. I always mention that. It took us 9 races to get our first multi-time winner. We had 8 different winners in 8 races, and we still have 9 different winners in... Oh my gosh, I just totally forgot what race we're on, but that's okay. I'll come back to that. As KJ going for P2 and gets it. And dive from Ryan Johnson.
Well, I think that might have caught the 73 a little bit off guard. It goes really wide there going into turn 1. And that allowed Johnson there to take the position. 31 might have a bit of a run here down the back straightaway as well. That was an aggressive move there by the 029. Like you said, aggressive driver there with a honestly pretty aggressive setup, and so far really seems to be working out for them. They're now up in the 2nd position. Like you said, still looking for that victory. Could today potentially be the day there for that 029?
That would be sweet. That would be really cool to see. The still Artois machine in victory lane. He is all over the bumper
Oh,
of the 113. Does he make the move or just going to try to push
yes,
him?
he does.
There he goes. Looking to try and be our third different green flag leader of this race. Caleb up the track. We're going to get a decent run here. KJ will lead the lap, gets the short cut around the dog leg, and will clear the 113 for the time being. But someone else who is looking very aggressive is that 78. He is really sending it into these corners.
Check up a little bit there on that inside lane. The 73 might get a good run here on the outside lane. On the back straightaway, pokes the nose ahead, and he's going to clear going into 3.
That is nice stuff there.
Oh, and the 78 coming down pit lane. I think, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Pit stops. We're on lap 25.
Yeah, I imagine we'll be able to go a couple more laps thanks to that caution. But I think Ryan's going to try for the undercut. But I don't know how much of a factor that's really going to play into this. I'm looking at the lap times, and yeah, about half a second, maybe a little more. It's about how far we've fallen off so far, so I'm sure we'll see some more takers here soon enough. KJ up here in the race lead. No other takers among the front runners as of now. Keith McLean, Mark DeSenza have gotten into the top 10 now, but they've still got some work to do if they're going to try to get up into contention.
It's a 44 in Rubino.
I saw Irv Johnston in earlier as well, the 49. Lap 27. So these guys will definitely be on, let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, probably still a 3-stopper, I would imagine. You think KJ? Not quite yet. Caleb next to bring it in.
Woo.
Very squirrely, so.
Oh,
he's gonna miss it!
And he's around in the infield.
And he's gonna miss the pit lane. Oh my goodness. And he just opted for the toe. Honestly, may have been the better call.
That's a terrible break for Lingle.
Ugh. The guy that cannot and will not catch a break. He had a good streak going of top 2 finishes, top 3 finishes. He's going to need a bit of a miracle now, as we got a series of guys coming in now. Oh, Harry! Race leader Killjules is in, along with Herman. There's Jeff Stakanis. Gates in. Of course, we saw Harry being pretty aggressive there. There's Eddie Rayleigh as well. Guys that have stayed out this lap. Wiley King, Steve Grant. There's Keith and DeSenza. Ken Hansen also going an extra lap. Looks like they'll be bringing it in this time, though.
Seems to be the case. They're slowing here on the apron. There they go. Ooh. Bit of a wide entry there for King and a bit of a hot entry there for Steve Grant. Well, it looks like they're both going to be able to slow it down in time. Still got a couple of cars staying out, including the 28. Heath McLean on the 33. I believe these are some guys that came down the pit lane under caution.
I think you're right.
Definitely could stretch it a little bit further here.
Yeah, that could play into a strategy then, as here comes Ryan Johnson, who pitted a couple laps earlier. And they're going to catch up to KJ. Oh, boy.
Probably going to be the battle for the lead once everything cycles out.
How about Ricky Bumbalo up here all of a sudden? Although, he's bringing it back in. That might be a speeding penalty. As there's those guys that stayed out that extra bit. They just brought it in. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's Caleb, actually. I think he's... Oh, we got a spinner! I think that's turns 3 and 4.
And it's a 51.
Is that a yellow flag? If no one was near him, I don't think they'll throw it.
Like it.
Yeah, not seeing any indication. Yep, lights are off on the pace car, so we remain green. I think Caleb Lingle, well, let's see. Oh, wait, no, yeah, he spun out. What am I talking about? He spun out coming to pit road. Andrew, use your brain. Oh, my goodness.
Looks like he's fortunately on the tail end of one lap down.
Still kind of sorting things out here for the scoring. Here comes Keith coming out.
How about Keith?
Gonna merge in right around where Why the King and Jeff Stakanis are running. That might actually help
quite
him
a bit from that.
Yeah, help him out as far as getting some draft. Ryan Johnson will be the race leader, just ahead of KJ, but not by much. As, yep, it is officially cycled around. Those guys are the top two. They've got a bit of a gap back to Herman Reese, who did lap a little bit faster, and KJ just threw in the clutch. Ooh, he is trying to one-stop this bad boy.
Oh, boy.
Now, he did stay out about an extra lap or so, so that could be possible. Yeah, you see, now, that's kind of a neat thing about NR. When they throw in the clutch, it just bottoms out, and obviously you hear the engine turn off, so you can tell pretty easily. That's very sketchy though, because once you get back on the power, that back end might want to kick out on you. So you got to be ready, or else you're going to be in for a wild ride if you're not ready once you let go of the clutch. But I don't know. We'll see if maybe that could work out for him. I think that could work out even better for guys like Keith McLean, like Mark DeSenza, Ken Hansen, guys that stayed out that extra bit longer. The Team Speedland guys, they stayed out a little extra. Will that benefit them? We will find out. But Ryan Johnson in a league of his own right now, up in the race lead, but just ahead of KJ and Herman Reese, who I think are inching slightly closer, but so it's kind of trying to find their own groove. Jeff Stakanis is trying to catch up to them both, who just ran his personal best of the race.
Yeah, definitely some interesting shakeups there under the pit cycle, and we're already seeing it now. A lot of different strategies coming into play here as this run goes along, and really interested to see where this will go for the number 029. Of course, kind of clutching it through the corners, maybe trying to extend that gas tank. We'll have to see how it works out, but really liking this deferring strategy we've got going on here throughout the field.
As he did not clutch the last few laps, so either already feeling good enough about it or has opted out of that strategy after realizing he wasn't going to be able to save enough. We will find out. Jeff Stakanis is closing in on them both, so we will quickly have a 3-horse race here per second, and if they continue to inch closer to Ryan Johnson, although that time was about even, we'll see if that could turn into a battle for the lead. Checking back behind the top four, you got Fugate in 5th, Wiley King, Keith McLean, Harry Kodian, another little pack of 4 here. They are a little ways ahead of Steve Grant, who's just trying to keep with them. Mark DeSenza is 10th as they run. Then everyone kind of scattered back to 13th then. Ricky Bumbalo and Frank Castle going at it. There's Dan Rubino, 15th. And just kind of scanning on through the field there.
Oh, Gaines just ran the fastest lap of the race that last time by.
Ooh, 6:02. Yeah, he's there. He's in the draft. KJ just ran his personal best. And I think they'll be closing in here. Ryan is getting a little bit of help from Caleb Lingo, who we know has a fast car and is just absolutely praying with everything he's got for a caution. He is on the tail end of the lead lap, and this league does have the lucky dog rule. And he's got a ways ahead of him until they catch up to the next guy, Randy Smith. So, you know that he's probably hoping for a yellow flag. A lot of these guys are probably not, because we got a good run going here. That first caution on lap 2, it's been green ever since.
Been green ever since that calamity there on the start, and it's been a really fun race so far here from Michigan. And things are just getting heated up here, as now we might have a battle for the race lead here coming to fruition, as 029, the 73, and the 31 all closing in here to the 78 of Ryan Johnson. They're probably starting to kind of get in that draft as well, and that's just going to make him close even faster. Although, of course, it is one thing to pass a car; it's a whole different ballpark to pass. Or it's one thing to catch a car; it's a whole different ballpark to pass them. But we'll see if this 029 could potentially get around the 78. But like I said, I'm honestly kind of watching that 31. Like I said, they ran the fastest lap of the race just a few laps ago. 31, it definitely quick, and honestly, just kind of seems like they're biding their time for now, kind of just sticking in behind the 73. But honestly, I think they could potentially have something up their sleeve. We'll see.
That's a pretty typical strategy there for Jeff. He is always lurking, like, 3rd through 6th, like, almost always somewhere in there, and then just hopes to pounce at the end. That is a driver. Ooh, that's a lot of smoke on the back straightaway.
Bumbelow.
Oh, 85.
I believe he might have gone around down the back straightaway.
May have had another instance of turn 2 biting somebody. We'll keep it to the live shot here ourselves. But, yeah, that's a rough one there. Just lost it.
Bring it to pit road with appears to be potentially a flat left front tire.
Oh, yeah, I think a turn 2 victim, unfortunately. And the skid marks kind of show it, so that's a rough one for the 85, but we stayed green. He was off the racing surface when he was around, so we keep it up. Now, Caleb, I'll ask you. I know I know that you probably don't race online quite as much, but put yourself in the shoes of Ryan Johnson right now, where you know you got these guys closing in behind you, and it looks like the gap may have relatively stabilized as KJ back on the clutch. But if you're Ryan Johnson, you've got a very fast car in front of you, but he's a lap car. What's your play here? Do you try to catch him and pass him and give yourself a buffer, or just let him do his thing and then you just kind of riding his wake?
Honestly, I think it kind of depends on the situation, but right now I really like what he's doing. Kind of just sticking in behind the 113, using him as kind of a drafting partner. Kind of just catching the draft there, especially down the straightaways. This is probably giving the 78 a lot of speed, which honestly, it's what's probably kind of giving him that little bit of a gap to work with to the cars behind him. So, yeah, honestly, I really like what this 78 is doing right now. I think this is probably what you want to try to do in a situation like this. But, yeah, especially when those lap cars really start closing in, you're probably going to want to have that 113 as a buffer. So we'll see if he does eventually try to pass him, but like I said, as a drafting partner, I think it's going to work really well, especially at a track like this.
He's doing a good job of it right now. The gap has been pretty stable. So far so good for him. KJ back on the clutch again. Now, we already know Ryan Johnson is probably not going to be able to make it. He pitted very early compared to everyone else. I think it was like right on lap 25. Everyone else was coming in lap 28 or so. But man, that's still like, that's over 50 laps between the two runs that you would have to make after that. So I think that's going to be a little sketchy, even if you are saving fuel. But who knows? KJ might be on the winning strategy here. He's back on it again. Neither Herman nor Jeff are clutching. They're just doing their thing. Again, that's just the aggressive nature of KJ. He goes aggressive on the setups. He races relatively aggressively. And you want to talk about aggressive on the strategy. That looks like that's what he's going to be doing here. But again, he did not pit under that caution. Someone that did, and is up to 6th, by the way, is Keith McLean. And he is looking to maybe get by Wiley King, who also stayed out a little extra. So I think these guys, 5th and 6th, may be in even better shape of making it on one more stop. We're going to find out for sure how far they can go, and I think that'll really dictate how far they'll be able to go at the end of this thing. We're in the second half. Ryan Johnson continues to lead. He'll probably hit the pit, though, in about 5 laps or so.
Definitely closely already approaching that second cycle of stops, but like you said, I really like where that 28 is sitting. Definitely has the advantage strategy-wise, has probably a bit more fuel in the tank and a bit of rubber on those tires to work with. And right now definitely seems to be working out for him as he is now up into the 6th position. So we'll have to see what he ends up doing here. It'll definitely be real interesting to see if he maybe tries to go for something a little bit different. And like you said, with this 029 as well, KJ definitely trying a bit of an alternate strategy here, trying to maybe go a little bit longer by clutching and coasting. Like I said, it's really, really interesting to see all these strategies in play. But I'll definitely tell you what, that 029, despite clutching, has just been slowly closing into that 78. And I'll tell you what, they got a run here down the back straightaway. Here we go.
Ryan looked like just bailed out of the way. Either that or got loose, not sure, but man, even on the clutch.
Oh,
KJ to the point.
This is why he's coming down the pit lane.
And he is pitting early again. Yep, he is committed to this three-stop strategy. And he knows, hey, I might as well just go ahead and cut these cycles as short as I can and give myself the most tire advantage that I can. And that's about all you can do when you're committed to a strategy like that. How that'll play out, we'll find out as this run goes on. But guys that are really hoping that this goes green include the 029, the 28, probably the 95, the 11, and anyone else, like even the 33 for that matter, who made it as long as they could. Now KJ is going to be in the coattails of the 113, Herman Reese and Jeff Stakana second and third. I think I even just saw a brief clutch there from the 73, but I'm not sure. Although it looks like his car didn't really take to that too well. As, look at this, the 95 and 28 have closed. They've closed big time.
So they kind of been drafting with each other here. Almost kind of looked like a bit of a tandem there down the back straightaway. That's really given them a lot of draft. In fact, last laps for the 73 and the 31 were a 37.7 and a 37.6. For the 28 and the 95, or at least before it went away, I thought I saw a 37.3.
You absolutely did.
Yeah, these guys probably been working together, and that's really allowed them to close in. And now McLean going to get by the 95 there for the 4th position, and now he's going to be in the draft here of this 31 and the 73.
And he is closing quick. Whether these guys are maybe backing off to start saving fuel themselves, that's a good question. They all stay out again. We are at 30 laps to go. I think that if you're going to have any chance of making it, you're going to have to stay out at least another 2 or 3 at minimum. If you go beyond that, then you'll be in pretty good shape. And they're just going to let him by almost. Man, what a power move.
They might have just let the 28 by because they know he's probably got more laps of fuel in the tank. So he's going to get in front of him there, and we'll see if he can maybe get to the 029 before they decide to come into the pit lane. They're going to slip a little bit wide here through 4, probably because 113 and Caleb Lingle's going to come down the pit lane, but that allowed the 28 to close in ever so slightly. He's going to have a runner going into 1.
Yeah, he's going to go for it here, I'm sure. Here's 2 guys that are good friends off the racetrack, race each other everywhere, are teammates almost everywhere. And yeah, I'm sure they race each other hard, but they know how to race clean together. And Keith McLean, new leader, and first time he has led tonight in this race. One of only 2 3-time winners, is what I meant to say, on the season. Herman Reese being the other. Will one of them break that tie and become the first 4-time winner? It is certainly very possible, especially with the speed that 28 is showing. We're at 27 laps to go. And top 4 still out there. Wiley's out there. Fugate's still out there. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the front runners, Harry Kodian did pit. But yeah, pretty much all the front runners, they're getting closer and closer now to being well and truly in a range that they can make it.
Herman Reese, though, in the 73, going to come down the pit lane. So
Ooh.
is the 31, but the 029, the 28 continue to stay out. I think they're looking to try and get into the range where they can only make it on this one last stop. With the 28, I think really kind of lifted quite a bit there going into turn number 1. So, yeah, I think both these guys, honestly, are trying to save as much fuel as they can, but they can make it just 1 or 2 more laps here. I think they're probably going to put themselves in the window to make it on just one more stop.
And not even have to save at that point, which would be huge. Herman and Jeff, I think, are going to have to save a little bit. As here comes
the
KJ.
29's down.
Holy, aggressive.
Ooh.
Get her down to speed. Oof. Don't
28's
know.
going to stay out.
And 28 is still out there. Wiley's in. There's Steve. I see him in there. Oh, boy. As, yeah, Ryan Johnson's going to sweep his way past 73 and 31. Not too surprised about that. Just the nature of the undercut. But obviously he's going to have to pit again. So that's kind of null and void. Will the 73 and the 31 have enough? As here comes...
Oh, McLean. Oh, a little bit overshot there, but he still manages to get it in.
A little bit over the grass, as long as he doesn't get a penalty for that, which I'm pretty sure he will not. Wow. He was getting everything that he could there. He is past 25 to go here. He will definitely be able to make it. I'm pretty sure everyone will. A slight question mark on the 73 and the 31. But if they maybe lift off even just a little, they might be okay. Again, that is in my experience and from what I understand. Obviously, it's kind of hard to tell without having pit road reporters that would be able to tell you this information, but I am not that sophisticated. I could whisper one of them, but that would be kind of foul to do mid-race. So I'm going to avoid that. Ryan Johnson, though, going to take the lead back here now that Keith's coming off the pit lane. KJ going to sweep past him.
Got Harry Cody on.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, you're right. Boy, how did he get to second? And this close, no less. Wow.
Hey, you know what? Props. That 13. Don't know what they did, but they could be in a pretty good position if they can make it to the end. That's
look
going
at
to
that
be the
lap
question
time
on everybody's mind. And oh my goodness.
Wow.
They just had the third fastest lap of the race.
He is on a
Where
mission.
in the world did he come from?
That is a good question. I knew that he was back in about 9th. He was running well. I just can't believe that he gained that much position. I know he pitted a couple laps after the 78. I don't think he'll be able to make it. But, man, yeah, I'd have to go back and look at that, honestly. See if he did, like, just 2 tires, but there's no way he'd be running those lap times on 2.
No,
so
he did 4 tires.
Wow. That's something, as Ryan Johnson has got a bit of an awkward spot here. He's caught the 49 of Irv Johnston. Of course, the 113 is also a lap car. Kind of. But is also quite fast. But, man, yeah, Harry's up there. And then you got a trio back here of KJ, Herman Reese, and Jeff Stakanis. They're 3rd, 4th, and 5th. McLean is 6th, and I think that he'll be looking to close in on these guys. He's already doing so. You gotta go a little ways back to Wiley King in 7th.
Oh, around goes the 49! Tangles with the 13!
Oh! That'll be the yellow. He powers it off, trying to get out of the way. Pounds the inside wall.
Oh, boy.
And that is a caution that so many of these guys did not want to see. We'll take a look and see if that's going to be damage there for the 13. But 20 laps to go. I think I got to imagine the consensus at this point is going to be everybody pits. We'll
I'd
find out
imagine
here.
so.
We'll very quickly get a replay here of the caution. Yeah, Irv Johnston was racing fairly aggressively for a lap car. Oh, yeah, I think he's actually going to get dinked. Oh, he did. 13 actually got into him. That was tight there. But, oof. Just close quarters. That's really all you could say about that one. Just close quarters. All right, cutting back live. What's the consensus? 20 laps to go. You'll be able to make it for sure from here. And yep, I am not surprised. That's just everybody. A couple stragglers there, probably just going to get their lady lap. We'll keep an eye here on pit road, see who emerges where. Ryan Johnson leading them all down ahead of Harry Kodian, who, despite getting into that contact, actually I don't think we'll get any damage from that. It looked like he got off pretty scot-free. Well, we'll definitely have to ask these guys kind of how their fuel situation was looking, but you know, someone else that this will actually really benefit is the 113. He's going to get back on the lead lap and in it with a chance at a good finish.
Wow. Blaine is a busy place.
Ryan Johnson beats everybody off there. As KJ will be second. That's big. Herman third. Ken Hansen fourth.
Wow.
Hello there. And Kodian fifth. That had to be a two-tire call there for the 94. But Ken's a guy that has a reasonable amount of speed. Again, he is the one lone wolf as far as pole sitters go. That 94 can get it done. So we'll see what he can do up here. And Ryan Johnson will be the race leader unless someone gets really ballsy here and opts to stay out outright. Andy Smith, Ricky Bumbleau bring it in. I think the 051 may be going for wave around here. I do believe that is what he'll be doing. He'll get one of his laps back. And 27th, I guess, was also a lap down, so may also try to wave around as well. And try to get himself back on the lead lap. Stenzo will end up 2 down if that is indeed what he opts to do. Boy, only 2 cautions in this race, and this one completely changing the complexity of things here, Caleb.
Definitely, yeah. Honestly, pretty late caution, all things considered. Probably going to go back green with around probably about 15 laps to go. Oh boy, I'd say the gloves are probably going to be off now. With just 15 to go, it's going to probably be an all-out brawl from this point on. And everybody's going to be bunched back up together, and honestly, I'd say it's probably just about anyone's race once again. I am definitely looking forward to this restart. It's going to be a fun fight to the finish here from Michigan.
A fun, hard fight, but I'm gonna throw this out there as well, and I just gotta be real. Cautions breeding cautions. You think?
Yeah, definitely the possibility.
With how squirrely these guys are in these restarts.
It's not a saying that's out there for nothing.
Yeah, it won't surprise me if things get to that point. Looks like 10 was the lucky dog. 27 waved around. There goes the 51 doing the same thing. So that will leave us with 18 drivers on the lead lap. 113 will be scored 13th, it looks like. I'll expect him to be relatively aggressive trying to get back up there. This was the caution that he was waiting all race for. He's right behind his teammate, Eddie Rayleigh, so shout out to the 112 there. Steve Grant is 11th. But up front, it is the 78, 029, 73, 94, and 13. The 13 and 94, two guys that, again, have decent speed, but we don't see them up at the front all the time. They're going to have a chance to make some noise here. But KJ's in second. That is a dangerous combination right there. You might as well be putting a rabid tiger in a cage. He's going to be getting crazy here, I think, and he's going to try to get, finally, his first win of the season.
Definitely.
Oi. Oh, the top three, you got Buffalo Wild Wings, Stella Artois, and Cadillac. That sounds like a pretty fun night out right there. You get some wings, you get some Stella Artois, which I don't even know exactly what is. That champagne?
I think so.
You get some wings, you get some champagne, and then you go sit in your Cadillac and you have some fun.
Cadillac, my favorite restaurant. All right, here we go.
16 laps. Here we go. Back underway here. And that is a decent restart there.
From the 029.
Ooh, going defensive is
outside.
Ryan Johnson. Yeah, he had to do that. That was a very great defensive line there, but now through the
dime in the corner.
Through the ever so sketchy corner. Jeff Stickin is hard in the wall.
Ah, goodness.
Caution.
Oh, and the old 124's around down the backstretch.
Rick Castle doing some 360s. He will not hit anything but some flat tires. See if everyone keeps it straight, otherwise.
Cautions breed cautions.
Looks like they will, and yeah. But Jeff. Golly, that is another driver that his luck has gone from he was doing well to absolute. I'm going to bring this up. He's having a reverse Daniel Paulus Jr. You're welcome for that. Oh man, that's a bummer. Yeah, he just started to kick out and then it just caught, and see you later. Up into the wall. Yeah, he actually didn't go around, but with how hard he hit, that thing was going to be toast, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, no, that's not what it was. It was 13 in front of him had a moment. Oh. I think he had to take avoidant action. Yeah, he twitched trying to miss the 13, and then that just got him checked up, and that's what caused him to get squirrely as well. Credit to Kodian for saving that. As there's the spin for the 124. I can't even get focused on him. There we go. Ugh. But once again, another very promising run, and we'll go south for old steak and eggs. Focusing in on 124 here. Yeah, 11 up into the wall. And, yeah, just a bit of a squeeze there as they were trying to stay off of him. Yeah, that's just the nature of kind of things tightening together on corner exit.
31, fortunately, out of the race.
Oh, man.
Fortunately, the steak has been cooked well done tonight.
A little too well done.
That isn't well done. That's congratulations.
I am going to be bringing you back a few more times for this booth, I swear.
It's been a really fun race, and I would definitely like to do more of this.
Hey, Tuesday nights. That's where it's at.
Hey, yeah, hit me up.
You got it, man. You got it. Hey, next week, I haven't mentioned this yet. Next week, these guys are going to the Papyrus game track.
Oh.
The original fictional track. So, I've never seen that before. that will be something to behold. It's 53 laps is what's scheduled. I don't know what to expect. That'll be something mighty different.
So you've never seen Papyrus in action before?
I have not.
Oh, you're in for an experience, let me tell you.
I'm excited. That'll be a different one. And then after that, it's Pocono. Pocono will be another doubleheader with Fast and Hobo. And then I will have to confirm the date, but we will be doing another CCR race in July. I just have to find the exact date for that again. But we will be back with CCR once again, coming up pretty soon here within the next month. So keep an eye open for that. Looks like probably will be 11 laps to go on this restart. Then the 85 looks like will be the recipient of the free pass. And with how that restart went for the 029, I think he knows he's got a good piece under him, especially on these restarts and getting that baby to launch in second gear. Let's see if he'll finally be able to spray some champagne in victory lane or not. Herman Reese, though, looking to get his 4th win of the season. Ryan Johnson looking for win number 3. They're winning at both Homestead and Charlotte. And then you got Ken Hansen and Harry Kodian, guys with a whole lot to gain. And a win to certainly spice up the season even more. Why the Kings 6, Mark DeSenza, Keith McLean, Fugate, and Eddie Rayleigh. Raydog now in the top 10. I imagine lights will be going out this time. Let's see. And it is indeed the case. At 78 with a great defensive line there when he was going into turn 1. I expect him to probably do the same, especially now knowing what KJ's got behind him. And hey, we know a thing or two about how good he is at crossovers. Let's see if KJ may have the same thing, but again, everybody's going to have to get through 1 and 2 without incident. Easier said than done at a track like this in these conditions.
Mm-hmm. And hey, speaking of crossovers, like you said, you got the 113. Caleb Lingle back on the lead lap, and you know that 113 car is fast, so we'll have to see what he can do on this restart.
Looks like scoring actually updated here. He is now 10th. So, bump everybody up a spot there. Oh, that's because Fugate's a lap down. Wait, what?
Uh-oh.
How did that happen? Scoring him the lead lap just a moment ago. I think something may have gotten lost in the shuffle there. So I'm sure that'll be fixed. Because I know I know for a fact that is not the case. Alrighty. 11 laps. Ryan's keeping him up all the way to the wall. He cannot pass before the start-finish line. AJ, though, got that restart gear. Is he going to be able to utilize it here? Green flag flying once again here in the Motor City. And just like that, Johnson goes low.
Oh, another good restart out of KJ.
Going to go outside.
Back to the outside.
Got to keep it under him, though. We're going to keep an eye on the rest of the field here, see if everybody's getting through here safely. Ooh, a little bit of stack up there, kind of midfield. Oh, Rob Heath is losing it! Gets into the 11.
Oh, and the 124 gets clipped. And he saves it.
No caution!
No caution!
Oh, my! We race on. They kept it off the racing surface. 10 laps to go. Race back from here. And KJ.
Another fake high.
All over the bumper.
Maybe trying to go for a crossover. We're going to see another classic crossover.
Oh, we're going to see it.
Are.
We are going to see it. Herman's going to go with him, I think.
Oh.
Herman's kind of in the middle there. Big send from Ryan on the outside. Don't know if that's going to be too much.
Oh. Slipping up.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Go on, Herman. Pull a polish. You know you want to.
Up the middle. I know
we
Herman.
got Ken Hansen in the mix.
Ken Hansen is there and looking sporty. But new leader is KJ. Herman got the apron.
Herman.
That's going to hurt him. And Ryan Johnson going to get clear here into one, I'm sure. Look at DeSenza, big move. Oh my gosh, he might polish this thing.
Wow.
That was aggressive, but move that 33 into the top 5. That is a driver who's looking for some magic. He has had a terrible season, despite the speed of that 33. He only has one top 5 and has not had a single other top 10 from what I can recall. But still got a little ways here. Still 8 to go. KJ, though, pulling a little bit. Breaking the draft. DeSenza for 3rd.
How about this 33 of DeSenza now trying to go for the 3rd position on Herman? And it's going to clear there off of 4. Going to slide up in front of that 73 machine. We got McClain going at it with Hansen there behind him with Leanne right there in tow. It's getting really heated throughout the center part of this top 10, but out front it is still KJ looking for their first win. They're trying to pull away. We'll see if Ryan Johnson or any of these other guys have anything left, as we might go 3 wide here down the backstretch.
Oh, we are Fugate. What a move. Oh, that's close. Oh, that is so close. Cody Ann trying to hold on. Ken Hansen doing the same. I think he's going to have to relinquish that. To the apron goes the 9 as he is back on the proper lap he should be on.
Oh, we got 3 wide behind him now.
Wiley King trying for it. And everyone keeping it straight so far. Oh, Fugate. Oh, Fugate.
Oh, and up front. Oh, here comes DeSenza.
There we got to check back here. Johnson. Oh, around the outside. Oh, he's going to get a bit too high. Oh, my gosh. If DeSenza can get up here. He's got 5 laps to go. Herman's going to push him. I know Herman. He's not the guy to go 3 wide.
And here comes Keith McClain in the 28. We know he had the leg up on strategy earlier on in the race. Unfortunately, kind of got wiped away with that caution, but looks like now he's going to try and take matters into his own hands here and win it on speed.
The 2 3-time winners now side by side for the 3rd position, or 4th position rather. Coming to 4 laps to go. DeSenza clear of Ryan Johnson, but they've all got to try to get up to that 029. They did it once. They're going to try to do it again. KJ going to break the draft.
Oh, Johnson to the inside.
He's going to try for it himself here. And he's got that inside lane where he's been so aggressive all race long thus far. But a good run off the corner for DeSenza. KJ! Keith spins it, collects Herman, who catches air and is on the racing surface. That will be the yellow.
Look out.
Yep, yellow flag. Oh my gosh, I missed him.
No.
I think.
Dan Rubino.
Did not miss him. Ugh. Caution out. KJ to the line. 3 to go. That should do it. At long last, he may have just won it. And how about DeSenza 2nd? Incredible drive from that 33 and finally a deserved result. As long as these guys are able to pace around for 2 laps. Johnson will be 3rd. And heartbreak will fall for Herman Reese and Keith McClain.
Wow.
That may have been some of the best racing I've seen all season. And that's saying something. Texas was amazing. This was right up there with that, if not on the same level. Dang, that was cool.
Caleb Lingo recovered for a top 5 there in the end.
Caleb 5th. Oh, that's
Spending
cool.
most of the race on the tail end of the lead lap.
That'll feel good.
Great
Fugate
stuff
4th.
there.
Another great result there for the 9. Harry Codian holds on to his 6th place finish. That's a decent result there. Wiley King, Ken Hansen, Eddie Rayleigh, and sneaking his way into the top 10 there. Mr. Randy Smith. Nicely done.
Hey.
Very nicely done.
Top 10 for the number 10.
So since we got 2 laps of pace in here, we'll go ahead and take a look at what has caused the race-ending yellow flag. And it looked like that was turn 2, biting another one, and this time it was Mac Daddy. Gets high and twitches, goes around, and Herman just an innocent bystander there. Herman who caught air and, I mean, out of control. And oof! Yeah, just clipped by the 44. Yeah, it's a rough break there for Herman. And Keith, but for Herman especially. Wow. That's Michigan. That's turn 2. That is what it'll do to you. You just got that wheel cranked just that little bit too long. That's all it takes. We're getting a quick on board here with the 113, who will have a great view of this. There's the twitch. And down to the inside, and 73 sliding up the track, and yellow comes out. Pretty much ending it. As they take the white flag and the yellow flag under. Yeah, they took the yellow flag under the yellow flag, if that makes perfect sense.
I mean, I guess technically they still got it waving, so. I guess technically every lap they're under caution, they take the yellow flag.
I mean, yeah, you're taking it every time. A race
this time
that's
they're just dual wielding it.
Hey, doing the Indy 500 style, you get just aggressively waving them both at the same time.
Yeah, there you go.
A race that saw 27 guys start this thing and only 18 are going to finish, but a race that did not have that many cautions. I think only 5 by my count, which is pretty good, and especially the fact that 4 of those came in the final 20 laps. Of course, we'll get a word with our top 3 finishers. Ryan Johnson, who's going to finish 3rd for the 2nd week in a row after just, I was watching it back earlier, and only just finished 3rd at Nashville by 0.02 of a second. Yeah, that was something. Mark DeSenza, first time I think we're going to get to talk with him all season long. And KJ, going to become winner number 10. And at the stripe, behind the pace car,
flag.
He earned it wholeheartedly. What a job. That car has had speed all season. He's got speed everywhere he goes. The fact it took him this long is amazing. But it will finally be a win for Julian Wilson, KJ Kilojoules, representing the Bomb Squad Racing League. And there will be some Stella Artois spraying in victory lane.
I know KJ definitely feeling it right now. A great win there, and I know they're going to be ecstatic about that one.
Gonna bring it around to hopefully burn it down.
It's going to start in turn 2 and end in turn 2.
Turn 2 is where the caution started and where the final caution flew. Hey, credit to Herman Reese, though, going for his pilot's license. I appreciate that.
And here we go.
Oh, yeah. You knew he was going to get after it.
Wasted no time.
Gotta love a 100-mile-an-hour slide through the grass. And in the sarcastic words of one Blaine Donlon, Zero Sunoco fueling victories. Love you, Blaine. Go check out TarnationTV if you haven't already, and the work that they do over at Maverick. It's cool stuff. Burn that sucker down. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Thank you again, Caleb, for being up here with me again.
Well, yeah, as always, thank you so much for having me. This race was a lot of fun.
Michigan, you can't go wrong. You just can't.
It never disappoints, man.
He's gonna victory lap this bad boy. Oh, he's even gonna burn it down there.
Some more burn downs.
Hey, turn 2 is where you spin out the most, so you might as well just keep up the tradition.
Hey, like I said, that's where the race was won, I guess.
Yeah. And yeah, once he took the lead, I mean, they got close to him once, but aside from that, relatively unchallenged. That thing got speed. That thing got bad speed. Fastest lap of the race will go to Caleb Lingle. 36.4. Holy cow. But yeah, I'm with you. Great recovery for him. Finishing 5th. That's pretty cool. I was kind of hoping he was going to go for the attenuator there, but that's okay. That would have been pretty funny. Gonna bring her down pit road in one of probably the best winter celebrations this season.
It's a shame that the base version of Michigan doesn't have the infield victory lane.
Yeah, unfortunately no. But hey, we got to see a burn down of all burn downs. That was awesome and well deserved from our guy, KJ, a guy who also helped kind of get things going over at Bomb Squad and getting some of the races onto the channel over there. So, hey, great dude. Love racing with him. Even if he loves to kick my butt, which he does 9 times out of 10. I've given him a run for his money once or twice, but that's a rare day. So as we said, yep, KJ, Descenza, Johnson, your top 3. Fugate, Lingle, Kodian, King, Hanson, Rayleigh, Smith, your top 10. Rest of the order will stack up as Ricky Bumbalo in 11th, Ron Simpson, Rick Castle. Dan Rubino still finishes 14th ahead of Herman. And then Steve Grant rounds out the lead lap finishers. 16 drivers on the lead lap. Herb Johnson 1 lap down. Greg Stenzo 2 down. And Keith McLean in 19th, all the way down to Charlie Tressi in 27th. All DNF on the race, unfortunately. And a lot of those guys early in the going on lap, big incidents on lap 2 that took out probably, honestly, like 5 or 6 of those guys. So, hey, we'll see what they can do at the Papyrus track next week and how that'll maybe stack things up. That will be a different show. Holy moly. What an awesome 80 laps. Green flag runs, cautions, excitement, close racing, strategy. It had it all. Well, let's go ahead and start talking to some of these guys here. We will start with 3rd place.
User was moved to your channel.
Ryan Johnson. Ryan, do you copy?
Got a copy.
Right on. I believe that is a 3rd place finish in a row. Last week only by 2,000, but this time around, fighting hard there for the win. Led a lot of laps. Initially looked like it was going to go for that 3-stop strategy. Well, I think a lot of other guys were going for 2. So I'll ask you first about that. I guess the call was just, hey, we'll go ahead and short pit and just bite the bullet on the number of stops, or were you hoping to maybe try and save more
Yeah,
than you did?
I think some of the guys pitted under that initial, at first caution, and I thought, oh, we're going to get more cautions, and then it ended up going green. We had the 2 green flag stops, so I thought, well, surely we'll get something towards the end of this race. But yeah, had that not came out, I'd have had to pit with about 7 or 8 to go. So I lucked out when we got the caution, and was hoping I was going to be able to hold them off, but they're just a little bit stronger than me. I think it was going to get interesting if it didn't end under the yellow like it did. We were all racing pretty good up there, but that's racing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'll just ask you. As far as just kind of driving the track, we kind of knew that turn 2 was going to be the trouble spot, because that just seemed like where the car wanted to step out the most. How did it feel like it was driving for you out there? Because yeah, squirrely seemed like the name of the game, and from what I can remember, that was definitely the case.
Yeah, well, 1 and 2 really wasn't that bad for me. I was taking kind of a later apex, and I could drive it in low, I could drive it in high in the entry in 1, and then just get a good run coming off of the exit. I had more trouble, believe it or not, in 3 and 4. I think I bounced off the apron 3 or 4 times and got it really loose. But yeah, it wasn't. I had a pretty good set under me, so I can't complain.
Can't complain there with another podium finish. Caleb, if you've got any questions or comments, anything for our third place finisher here?
Nothing much really, but just a great race up there. You are honestly up front pretty much the entire race, and saw you kind of marching your way through the field in those opening laps, and you really looked like arguably the strongest car out there on the racetrack. But just overall a great drive. You did an awesome job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a pretty good set. I was very comfortable for the most part, other than hitting that apron in 3 and 4 a few times. So it was a good set. Just wasn't quite strong enough. I think Caleb would have been the guy to beat had he not went off in the grass under that first green flag stop, and that helped me a lot too because he came out and I was able to draft off him that entire run and hold the other guys at bay, kind of keep a distance and just be able to run some laps comfortably when he came out in front of me. So that really helped a lot. So just came up a little bit short tonight, but hey, third place, nothing to be ashamed about.
Nothing to be ashamed about whatsoever. And if anything, perhaps gained yourself a inching ever so closer to that point lead. So being third in points coming into this thing, yeah, with Herman getting into trouble there, and Steve having kind of a mediocre run, you're inching your way forward there. You think there may be some potential going for that point lead?
Yeah, just want to try and get as far up as a point as we can, until they break it down for the chase. Chase is always tough. There's a few tracks in there. It seems like every season I struggle with. So never know. We'll see. These guys are tough to beat, and it's just fun racing with them week in, week out.
It is a lot of fun watching you guys. It is an honor to be able to do it, as I've said before. And hey, Papyrus is going to be an interesting challenge for everybody. So looking forward to seeing what that looks like. But great finish, though. Another awesome run, another great car, and great job. But of course, before we let you go, you know what to do, my man.
Yep. Shout out to you guys for putting up with us and showcasing our abilities. It's always fun to go back and watch on YouTube. Obviously, shout out to everyone at HOBO, all the great drivers, KJ, Herman, Keith, Jeff Stakanis, Mark DeCenza, Caleb Lingle, all my teammates, Eddie, Ken, Rick, Troy, a good group of guys to whisper with and bounce information off of week in, week out. And if any of my buddies from CCR are watching tonight, shout out to CCR. You've been over there a couple times, I think, for some broadcasts, and hopefully they joined in and check them out. Check HOBO out. Come race with us. It's a good time.
Awesome, fun times, and hey, some good place to get your open setup wings spread out a little bit. But another awesome run, and we'll see what happens next week. But right now, though, congratulations, my man. An awesome run.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Same to you, my man.
User was moved out of
Ryan
your
Johnson
channel.
finishing P3. But next guy that we'll be talking to, here we go.
User was moved to your channel.
Second place finisher here, runner-up, Mark DeSenza. I don't think I've gotten a chance to talk to you yet this season, so this is pretty cool. Congratulations, dude. You gotta be feeling awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for doing this. We just can't finish. We ran pretty well this year. We just can't finish races, either black flags, wrecks, or whatever kind of problems. But yeah, it was a nice track. I like this place. I'm just kind of glad to finish.
I don't blame you. I was saying, with the speed that you've had, you've deserved so much better. And to finally get yourself a runner-up there. And I can't remember if I have maybe talked to you before, if that one top 5 that you have was a podium, and I can't remember. But either way, though, you were in it with a chance. You plowed your way pretty much through there on that last run. You got up to second. You were battling hard with Ryan, and you had at one point you even got close to KJ. So just the car seemed like it was driving pretty darn good for you. Would you concur on that?
Absolutely. I heated him up a little bit once I got by Ryan, but then I was going to give it a lap and then give it a shot there with a few to go. But because if I got close to him, he was getting a little bit loose, and if I got close to him, he might have pushed up. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have had anything for him anyway. But yeah, we'll take it. Like I said, I'm glad to finish because we just can't finish races.
Well, finally, a deserved, awesome run and awesome finish for you with some great speed, and even starting deep in the field too. I think you're probably going to be the biggest mover of the race. So awesome run. Not too much more. I can really hype you up there because, again, yeah, if you just always have speed, and it finally got the result that it deserved. I'll throw it to Caleb here if you've got any questions or anything for Mark.
Nothing much. I think that's already been said. Just great job out there. Watching you on that last restart was honestly something just really, really awesome. You were honestly just cutting through that field like butter up into the second position. And honestly, if it could have gone green, I think you definitely might have had a shot at the win. But I just still overall a great run here tonight, and just congratulations, dude.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't say one had a shot, but between him, Keith, and a few other, they're the best. So I would have really had to, give it a shot there. But yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Hope to see you again soon.
Hey, hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon enough. Anytime we get you up here, though, we always let you have the floor for any closing thoughts, shout outs, whatever you want to do. So I will let you have the floor.
I just thank you guys for what you do. You do a great job. And Keith putting it on, and HOBO Racing, and everybody that races here. Great bunch of guys. And just, it's fun every week, but it gets a little frustrating sometimes when you either wreck or you have internet problems or whatever. But that's all part of it. We just keep plugging away we run pretty good. We just plug away every week and just hope for the best. That's all you can do. But thanks, guys.
Hey, best of luck. Hopefully we'll see you at Papyrus. That'll be an interesting one. But for right now, though,
Oh, yeah.
hey, you've well and truly earned the right to celebrate getting the finish that you truly do deserve. Awesome job, man.
Thank you. Congratulations to KJ and Ryan. KJ, you did a great job, man.
And right on. Best of luck going forward. We'll talk to you soon, hopefully.
All right. Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
That is so cool. Finally see him finishing not only top 5, but top 2. That is so awesome. But speaking of awesome, holy cow, he finally did it.
User was moved to your channel.
It's KJ. You finally did it.
Oh man, you should. I was going to respond to what Mark just said, but I can't do it now. I'm in the broadcast booth.
If I don't know what you were going to say, but whatever it was, I'd rather you not.
There was some profane words there, Andrew. Something that would get us kicked off YouTube.
I've sent out the fine letters to guys before, so don't worry about it. But no, Hey, you finally did it. 10th different winner this season now. But it took you this dang long. But no, honestly, though, in that final run, once you got the lead, it seemed like, aside from that one time they kind of caught you, you never looked back. That thing seemed like it was on rails, that final run.
Yeah, I'm just glad to finally get that box checked. I was getting a little worried, like, am I ever going to win anything? But yeah, I got that lead from Ryan. The restart before, I tried something just to see what it would do. I kind of got up on him and I swung it high, and that was going to be my plan all along. I was going to hope he was going to run a tighter entry into one, and I sweeped really high, really late, and I got that run, and the car wasn't loose. I was like, okay, well, I got something here, so I need to go get around him now. And I got around him, and it wasn't loose, and that's not normal for me. And I got a little too greedy going into one, and it jumped out sideways, and I seen him coming, and I thought that was it, so I had to protect the bottom. And I ran my fastest lap of the race with 5 to go. I ran like a 6, so the car was plenty fast. It was just it was a little loose, and the closer they got to me, the looser it was getting. So I'm kind of glad Keith, since he's not here, he ran out of talent, spun out, and caused a caution.
I know KJ and Keith. They take jabs at each other all the time. It's all in good fun. But I will ask you, as far as the strategy on that long green flag run, I'm guessing the one stopper was the plan with how much you were clutching. I wasn't sure if it was going to be close enough, but I don't know. Were you going to be able to pull it off?
That was a fun ass race right there, Andrew. There was so many different strategies. What was going on? I was one to the good. That run before, when I was just following Ryan, I saved 3 laps clutching so hard. And we were talking in the whisper key. We were racing Keith. We knew Keith was going to make it because he topped off. And so we were clutching as much as we could until Keith got to us. And I was able to go that extra lap that Herman and Jeff couldn't go. I think I would have made it. It was just been a matter of trying to get around Keith. He could run harder. I had to save a little more on the back end. But like I told him in the while ago, we'll never know what happened. But it was fun. There was a lot going on that race that you don't see from the broadcast. Everybody was holding the spot, but there was just so much strategy going. That's fun racing right there. It ain't just who's fast; it's who can out strategize everybody.
Oh yeah, that obviously, yeah. As a racer myself, and even Caleb here, whenever he dabbles in online too, it really, like, yeah, you know that every single lap, it's not just you guys putzing around the track. You're always thinking. You're always trying to keep up with the track and the tires. So it really is a 4D game of chess, as Caleb has mentioned before. So yep, I know what that's like, and the fact that we were getting to watch it play out in real time, I was intrigued to see who was going to be able to make it. But at the end of the day, we had an incredible battle going to the end there up until just a few laps to go. But yeah, as you said, that box finally checked off. That's going to move you up in the points a bit. Any momentum you feel that maybe trying for the title?
We just got to get there. I'm not too worried about point standing right now. Now that I got the win, it takes a little pressure off. But the last couple of years I've raced the full season here, I've kind of peaked in the mid part of the year, and towards the end of the chase, like, just random craps happen, and it's kind of like petered off. So we're just going to try to do what we do, make stuff happen, do the best we can, and when the opportunity arises, try to go get it. I have no confidence in next week. Last week I was straight ass. I don't know how I qualified second. That was my second or third lap on that track ever, and it went backwards. But we somehow found something out of that, and that's how you win championships. You got to make the best out of a bad day.
Yep. It's not your best days. It's how bad are your bad days. That's what gets it done. So, but today was the highest of the high, and finally came around for you. I will send it to Caleb if you've got any thoughts or questions for our race winner.
I guess honestly, just first thing, congratulations, dude. I know there's just no better feeling than that first win feeling. It always just gets so much pressure off when it just feels really good going into the remainder of the season. So yeah, just first of all, congratulations, my man. And I got to ask you, the late race restarts, it can definitely be pretty pressure inducing, but I don't know. Like, what are the thoughts? What are the feelings? What are the emotions like going in to a restart like we had late in the race and thinking, I mean, I'm in second right now and I could have a shot to win this thing?
Honestly, I didn't want the restart. I wanted that thing to go green the whole run because I knew I had a better car than Ryan at the end of the run. But with late race stuff happens. You get cautions and it jumbles the field up. You have people just pop out of nowhere. Mark was in the back half of the top 10 on race, but I never seen him. I looked up in the mirror. Hell, there's Mark. So you get people you haven't been around or you not expected to see. They just pop in there and you don't know how they are. You don't know what line they run. And people just, like this track here is so fast. It's so easy to dive into turn one and try to clear somebody, but it don't work half the time unless you can clear them off too. So that first restart before that, I kind of, dipped my toe in the water what I could do on the high side. Because I was kind of figuring it was going to be another one. Usually these late race things, just stuff happens. Everybody's giving 100%, and there's no give, it's all take. But when I got the lead, I took a deep breath and I was like, okay, I just got to put 8 laps together and do what I can do. And I almost gave it away. I almost gave it away in turn 3, but I didn't. And you just got to regroup. Every lap's a qualifying lap at that point. So block the runs, check the mirror. You mirror drive more than you drive in front of you at that point because the draft is so powerful. So I've done it a bunch of times. And I've screwed it up a bunch of times. So this time I was good enough to do it.
That is the nature of racing at a track like this. But awesome stuff, awesome race. So darn glad that we were able to call that one. And yeah, that race had everything: strategy, long green flag runs, short runs, some craziness, and just hard racing, which is obviously what we're all here for. So awesome job and massive congratulations. That's cool to see. But before we let you go celebrate fully and spray some Stella Artois everywhere.
We already got the beer here. We've already cracked up in 2, man. We're partying now. Come on down here when we get done.
Hey, I'm in. I'll be right there. But first, send the people your thoughts, shout outs, whatever you want to do.
Oh, I just want to say before we get in that point, I have finally won a race and my wife wasn't even watching it. So she said she's gonna go back and watch it later. So I want to hear that right there when this interview starts like this. So didn't even watch it, and I won.
What's her name again?
Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. You better reference that so that you know that so that KJ knows you were watching.
Kind of not sober, but she's been on TeamSpeak before. You'll know the voice when you hear it. But anyway,
oh yeah.
Thank you guys here in the booth at Top Dragster here. That was fun. There was a lot going on in that race, and every lap we were trying to figure out what to do for the next lap. So that was fun. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch that because there was a lot going on. Like I said, it sucks that Keith spun like that. That was gonna be fun. He had a great car. He topped off, and it took the whole race to get back up there to us. So. Good run to Keith. Good run to Ryan. Ryan races me clean like always. A lot of give and take with him, but it's a lot of hard-nosed racing. So good recovery from Mark. Mark started at the back also, so he kind of popped out of nowhere and got him a top 3 right there. It was a good race for everybody here in the league here at HOBO. Green flag pit stops, in the race chaos. That's how it goes. Thanks to Steve Rubino and everybody here at HOBO for doing what they do. This league's been around a long time here with this game, so I appreciate them keeping it going each and every year for us. Teammates, Herman had a good car, Jeff had a good car. We were all kind of on the same strategy there, so kind of sucks that they got taken out there at the end, but I mean that's racing sometimes. So I also want to say hi to my mom. She was watching. She watches every week, Andrew, so you got a faithful follower there. So she texts me every time at like 8:30, are you racing tonight? Where's the link if I don't give it to her? So I want to say hey to her. I appreciate everybody watching here on the stream. I think that covers everything.
Well, congratulations.
If I forgot something, let me know.
I can't think of anything. I think you covered your bases there. Hi, KJ's mom. That's cool. That seriously is cool to see you get to victory lane. That's awesome stuff. And I will conclude by saying you only got there because I wasn't out there. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I mean, last time we were on the track, you did beat me, so I'll give you that. But one more thing, I haven't had an interview since Hezzy got married, so I want to say congratulations to Hezzy Hardy. He got married about a month ago, maybe a month and a half now. So congratulations to him. Hope the family's doing well, and that's all I got.
Right on. And yeah, congrats to Hezzy. That's cool. Congrats. Awesome job. Hopefully we'll see you at Papyrus. That'll be interesting.
Not looking forward to it.
But hey, for now, just go celebrate. Go down some cold ones. You've earned it. I'll join you soon enough.
All right, appreciate it.
Right on, man.
User was moved out of your channel.
Whew. Fun stuff. Awesome stuff. Again, probably one of the highlight races of the season that I've done so far. Caleb, once again, thank you for being up here and being a part of that. I'll let you have the floor for your closing thoughts on the race that we got to see tonight.
Yeah, man, just what a crazy race here from Michigan. Like I said, this track usually never disappoints, and tonight was absolutely zero exception to that. Just great racing all throughout the evening, and what a win out of KJ. They earned every bit of rubber that they put down on that racetrack in that post-race celebration. That was a great performance, and just, again, thank you so much for having me up here. It really is an honor, and it has been so much fun, and I'm really hoping that I can get up here for more races.
Hey, it's, as you said earlier, I'm not gonna stop pestering you.
I hope you don't stop pestering me.
I was gonna
I need to see more of this stuff.
Be ready for that. It's gonna be good. And Papyrus will be very interesting. Don't know what to expect, but we're gonna have some fun with that. And again, a week after that will be a doubleheader of Pocono, Sunday and Tuesday that week. But until then, thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch this thing. Congrats to KJ again. Great job to everybody. And yeah, we'll do it all again in 1 week's time. Until then, though, a good evening to everyone. Take care.